Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Ayla and this is Bo. We're the learning leaders at Bethal Primary School. I guess we felt a need to improve our literacy standards at our school, so this is our journey so far. Okay, just an overview about our school. We're located in Meadow Heights in the northern suburbs. I guess a lot of people don't know the name Bethel, so that's where we are. Approximately 250 students, with more than 60% of our students who come from an ESL background, and nearly 80% of our families receive EMA.
Now, before the Achievement Improvement Zones, I had attended a PD by John on Torch, and he had, during that PD session, talked a lot about the 7 high reliability literacy teaching procedures, and talked about the marked improvement in a school that he was working with. He didn't mention the school, he didn't mention the strategies, but he kept mentioning it. So I approached Pam Sjostrom, who was the specialist teacher at our school, the literacy specialist at our school, and she gave me a document on the 7 strategies. So what I did then was trial these 7 strategies in my classroom. I was in a 5-6 classroom last year, and I did it during my integrated curriculum sessions. We had a topic on natural disasters at that time, and with each natural disaster that we were doing, I trialed the strategies. The students in my class were really engaged with what we were doing, and I was really impressed by the depth of conversations that followed. Now, it took the entire hour, and we did all the strategies, but at the same time, the kids got a lot of information about the topic that they were doing. So if we were doing on cyclones, we investigated all the vocabulary that was related to cyclones. We paraphrased, we summarized, and the kids were really, really enthused. So as a result of that, I had spoken to my principal and asked her if we could introduce that to the staff this year. That was before attending all the sessions on the strategies. I had attended other sessions by John last year that was organized by the Northern Metropolitan Region. And she said yes. I went up to the unit leaders at that time, and I told them about getting knowledge ready. Just to the unit coordinators, I gave them the information that John had given us while I was at his PD last year, and asked them if they could then tell their teachers and if they could implement it in their classrooms. It was very informal, and we just wanted to trial it before we started the official learning of the strategies with John this year. So what we found then, that the staff were approaching us and asking us for reassurance. Am I doing this right? Is this what I'm supposed to do? So that created a need for us to develop a very uniform approach. So how can we do it so that it's consistent, that the teachers in grade prep, teachers in grade 1 or 5, 6s are all talking the same language. There is a consistency in language. And we had some challenges. When do we fit this in? How do we incorporate early years and middle years? How do we get teachers who were reluctant to take this information on board? How do we apply it to all levels? And how do we ensure consistency?
I guess consistency throughout the school is coming up in all the schools, so that's why we start off with an after-school PD with the staff, giving them an overview of the Getting Knowledge Ready strategies, and we handed out the implementation plan where we talked about it and went over it. Okay. Our implementation plan was a 5-week trial in each classroom, a daily focus for 10 to 15 minutes in the whole class reading sessions, and we had explicit language questions that we wanted them to ask and for students to be able to use as well. And we had a pre and post test. I guess that was sort of one way of assessing where they've come from and how far they've gone and whether they've taken on board the new strategies and the new language. Here is just an example of one of our implementation plans for getting knowledge ready. As you can see, it's lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, and I guess the 5th session was a catch-up session where we had topic visualisation, given the title only, students ask themselves, what does it remind me of? give them time to visualise what might be described in it, etc., etc. So they're explicit questions for the teacher to ask. And that's the first week. And then the second week, again, we looked at revising and visualising the getting knowledge strategy, asking them some questions about the title, and then again, the fifth session was the catch-up session. And we found that the teachers, they liked this, they liked it being explicit, they liked it how it was all sequential as well.